Thanks for taking the time to join us today. First event of 2015. What are your hopes and ambitions for this coming season?
Yeah, obviously thanks for being here. First start of the year, looking forward to it. Just a great place to come and start the season. I guess my thinking was sunshine and a perfect golf course would be, the reasons for being out here, and have been certainly rewarded with both this week. The golf course is in phenomenal condition, and someone put their iPhone plugged into the sound system. Okay. No, it's not looking forward to the year. Feeling fresh, and things are certainly good in my life off the golf course, which I feel is giving me the mental space and mental energy to re-motivate and refocus myself on my game, and certainly concentrate on certainly the next 4 or 5 years ahead and try to be the best I can be. So I'm excited about it. I've got a great schedule this year, very similar to last year, and every tournament's very, very important to me. So this one's certainly no different. Here to compete, here to do a job if I can.
You mentioned about your schedule. You haven't been here in a few years. What were the reasons that you decided to start your season here?
I guess there's been various reasons why I haven't had a chance to make it back here. With some of the new events here in the Middle East, playing a couple of those, PGA Tour card, playing a little West Coast swing, just sort of, experimenting a little bit with the start of my year, experimenting with some more time off. I think you learn something new about your schedule every year. You look back on the season, you think, maybe you shouldn't have played that event, maybe you should have played that one. You're always learning, and I think I thought about playing Abu Dhabi. Felt like I hadn't had enough time off. Thought about starting in Qatar last week, and I always kind of get scared off by the potential strong winds over there, and sort of settled on this one as just like I say, perfect conditions, perfect golf course, and certainly one of my favorite events in the Middle East. And looking around the last few days, wondering why I haven't been back here in a few years. So it's great place to start the year.
Thank you, Graeme. With that, we'll open the floor with a few questions. Good.
Graeme, is wind the reason why you don't like to start your season in Hawaii?
I would like to be at the Hyundai Tournament of Champions every year, because that means I'll have punched in a win every year. But no, Hawaii's a long way to go if you're not in the Tournament of Champions. It's also extremely early in the season. I've certainly been enjoying my off-season break the last 4 or 5 years. I like to make a break of at least 5-6 weeks if I can, just to give myself a chance to get away from the game for a couple of weeks and recharge the batteries, and then sort of get back to playing again. So it's a long year when you're carrying both cards. There's a lot of golf to play. You can't play less than 26, 27 times. So obviously, traveling a bit early in the year, traveling a little bit middle of the year, and then obviously a little bit towards the end of the year. So I played right up until the 13th of December, and just felt like I wanted the break. So Hawaii wasn't something that really interested me this year. Like I say, there's West Coast swing opportunities in the PGA Tour. Some of those weeks the weather can be an issue. Certainly not an issue out in this part of the world. So that's what kind of weighed into my decision-making process this year.
And looking at this golf course, given the way you love to shape your shots, you must be really excited, and you must be looking forward to playing on a golf course where there are so many left to right and right to left dog legs. Yeah,
this is a classic golf course, no doubt about it. I certainly length helps around here, but there's obviously a huge premium on accuracy. The rough's pretty thick this week. You've got to drive it in the fairway to give yourself an opportunity to make birdies around here. The scoring's normally fairly low. The greens are just perfect as well. So no, it's a good golf course for me. Probably of the 4 Middle East events we play, this has certainly got to be maybe the best opportunity from a golf course point of view for me. And like I say, just kind of the question mark remains why I haven't been back here in a few years. But it's a sort of good problem to have. Looking forward to seeing how we do this weekend.
Yeah. Graeme, Lee was saying yesterday that he felt even more enthused after the Ryder Cup. And I know you never lack motivation, but is that something as well that sort of adds an extra couple of % for you, having been part of that?
Yeah, I think personally, I felt like I gained a lot of confidence from the Ryder Cup last year. Just maybe not even in the way I played, but just kind of in, you know, the way that I felt like I handled myself. You know, you just kind of, you never really see yourself as an experienced player until the day when you realize, you know, that you're able to go and enjoy an experience like the Ryder Cup and not be as intimidated as you were in the past. So, you know, I think just that whole week, and it boosts you from a confidence point of view, no doubt about it, and obviously the win and just everything that went with it. It was a fun week, and played solidly towards the end of the year. And like I say, I feel like there's certainly been a shift in my life the last couple of years. I mean, you know, just talking over the last few days with my team, and just talking about the fact that, you know, in the 12-month Ryder Cup qualification window, I got married and had a baby, and still made the Ryder Cup team off my own right. So, you know, with a couple of personal life-changing experiences, but still being able to play the kind of golf that I've been playing, I think it bodes well going into the next sort of 5 to 10 years, where I feel like, you know, I should, you know, personal life has given me the chance to, you know, have the space to play as well as I can on the golf course. So looking forward to that, and, you know, obviously you know, looking forward to having a big year if I can.
Can I ask you about, sorry, just follow, can I ask you about the major venues? What do you think of them will suit you?
Yeah, you know, obviously Chambers Bay is an unknown quantity, but it sounds like it's a pure links. You know, it sounds to me like, you know, as opposed to Whistling Straits, which you know described as a links, it looks like a links, doesn't really play like a links. I think from what I've been able to find out about Chambers Bay, it sounds like it really is a pure links. You know, with grass types and stuff. It sounds like, you know, even weather-wise up in the northwest coast there, I mean, I think we could see a bit of British weather. So, I mean, St Andrews is always an open venue I look at and think to myself, maybe it's not my best opportunity. But then when I analyse my results around St Andrews, you know, I competed pretty well. Both British Opens I've played there. I've had good success at the Dunhill Links as well. So, you know, St Andrews is a golf course I can get around as well. And you know, very excited about the prospect of 2.5 links golf courses during the summer. You know, I'll call Whistling Straits half a links course, because I don't remember it playing like a pure links when I was there. But great venues, and of course, you know, Augusta is a Rubik's Cube that I'm still trying to solve. But looking forward to that challenge this year again.
Mark?
Graeme, it was replayed back home over Christmas, the Ryder Cup. Where does the way you turn the singles match round on the Sunday stand in your career when you've had time to reflect on it?
Yeah, you know, that was a pretty special day, I suppose. I mean, you know, I remember going through various emotions that day. You know, everything ranging from, you know, dejection and disappointment to you know, obviously elation. You know, when I turned the match around, and it was certainly an interesting week from a lot of points of view, being given a different role from the captain. You know, a role that I, you know, haven't had a chance to experience in a Ryder Cup yet. You know, obviously partnering a rookie and sort of taking that sort of leadership role within the team room, leading the team out on Sunday was certainly a position I wasn't familiar with, having played 12th and 10th and, you know, middle of the pack, you know, my previous 3 Ryder Cups. But you know, it was great to get the job done. It was very personally satisfying, and you know, I felt like I gained a lot of belief from that. And you know, obviously one of the sort of hottest young players in the world right now, in Jordan Spieth, it was you know, it was a decent win, and certainly was part of an amazing day, which was an amazing week in general. You know, it was probably my favourite Ryder Cup from generally just the whole experience. It was cool.
Can I also ask you about Stephen Gallagher? I mean, you crossed swords with him in a playoff in the Dunhill 2004. He didn't really kick on from that straight away, but the player you played with yesterday, how different is he now?
Yeah, I mean, I think like you say, I mean, careers kind of mature at different rates. Look at Stevie Gallagher. I mean, yeah, you know, beat me in, was that 2004? I think he beat me in the playoff for the Dunhill Links, and you know, kind of maybe didn't kick on the way he might have expected, but you know, to make the Ryder Cup team in the style he did last year, you know, and to have a personally perhaps frustrating week at Gleneagles, and to talk to him afterwards, and to hear the way he reacted and how positively he reacted to that week, and how how much he gained from that week experience-wise. Despite, like I say, maybe not having the week he had hoped for, but I think he's certainly growing as a player and going from strength to strength. And his talents are out there for all to see. I mean, obviously history beckons this week with a three-peat if he can do it this week. And he's an exceptional player. Hits it a long way and got a great attitude for the game.
Derek? I'll go for Derek first. Yeah.
Greg, could you just tell us what your schedule is up to Augusta and what would represent a really good year for you this year?
Schedule is here in Malaysia next week, and then I'm going to play Honda, Doral, Bay Hill. I'm going to play Valero, Texas Open this week's probably the only new addition to my early season schedule apart from these 2 weeks. Week off before Augusta, and I'm going to play Augusta and Hilton Head and kind of all beyond. So what would represent a good year for me? Last year was an incredibly consistent and solid performing year without kind of having too many highlight reels in there. So I'm just looking for those 3 or 4 strong weeks in the big tournaments to turn a good year into a great year. So of course focused on the majors. I'd like to, my performances in the majors the last 2 years have been fractionally disappointing. So I'm certainly focusing on those and just trying to compete as often as I possibly can, and like I say, trying to put those few big weeks in there to turn a good one into a great one.
Graeme, how would you say married life and fatherhood, how has it changed you as a person and a professional? I believe Luke Donald credited fatherhood for the year that he won on both sides of the Atlantic, no one else.
Yeah, I mean, having sort of beginning to experience that, I can see how it can affect golfers positively. The way it feels like for me is everything, life is in balance off the golf course, so it really gives you that kind of mental space to pour yourself back into your game. Things have changed. I mean, obviously I enjoy my home time much more than I ever did. I'm much more settled than I ever was, and when I do go home, it gives you such a different perspective away from the game and allows you to switch you off a lot more. So you're certainly fresher mentally when you do come back out. My schedule hasn't changed much the last few years because I'm certainly playing the minimums that I can play on both sides of the Atlantic. Playing top schedules, the best events. And trying to balance that with staying competitive, and until the day when the wife tells me to start playing 35, 40 events a year, and she gets fed up with me. So, we're in the early stages, so I'm enjoying being at home, but when I start playing more, she's throwing me out, telling me to go make some money. But no, it's certainly enjoying that side of my life right now.
You guys will go for maybe 2 more questions. Or 1 more.
Said it all. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. Have a good week.